Hello everyone, today we will be going over why the popular video game retailer GameStop is noticeably declining, and how it's currently failing in the gaming industry. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to join the Young Gang and never miss a single video. Let's begin.
GameStop is the most prominent computer game retailer on the planet, with more than 5,000 stores. The organization had been in a consistent decrease for a considerable length of time, yet the base dropped out of its stock cost in 2019, from $16 an offer in January to only $4 by late July. The organization is crashing, Wedbush investigator Michael Pachter revealed recently. Without a doubt, it will disappear in the end. We visited a bunch of GameStop stores in New York City, and it was obvious why the organization is coming up short. GameStop delegates didn't react to a solicitation for input as of distributing. In the late 90s, retail diversion titans like Tower Records, Sam Goody, Walden Books, and Blockbuster Video were all, as of now, in transit out. Their decrease was obvious to everybody. First, they'd begin selling stuff that wasn't exactly right up their alley. At that point, the stores would begin covering. Then the rest of the stores would get messier and messier as the staff recognized the inevitable. Then in the long run, they would shade until the end of time. After 2 decades, and the world's biggest computer game retailer GameStop is experiencing a similar procedure that record stores, film stores, and bookshops have just persevered. On a damp summer Wednesday in New York City, a visit was taken through a few GameStop stores for an investigation of a retailer in decay. In a city like New York, where land comes at such a high premium, GameStop has over 12 outlets spread over the 5 precincts. That is a great deal of GameStop stores for one spot. There are, basically, an excessive number of GameStop areas in New York City. Some are grouped so near one another that you can, without much of a stretch stroll, starting with one then onto the next. None of the 4 stores visited, across Manhattan and Brooklyn, had an excess of a couple of individuals in them at some random time. The entirety of this would be dangerous in a more affordable spot than New York City, yet it's particularly hazardous given that, remarkably, GameStop doesn't work on a franchise model. The organization is renting every outlet itself. In addition, GameStop stores are incredibly immense, unnecessarily so considering they're in the matter of selling little round circles in little rectangular boxes. In spite of the fact that the 4 GameStop stores went to across Brooklyn and Manhattan were all particular in their own specific manners, one consistent was clear for every one of the 4. These are unnecessarily enormous stores. By far, most of the accumulates comprised of void space, as the essential thing at a bargain games line the dividers. There are different deals islands set up, however, a significant part of the GameStop retail experience is tremendous open spaces. As a matter of course, each store additionally had an aimlessly set up freedom table with cardboard boxes brimming with stuff. A comparative arrangement was utilized at a store in Brooklyn, such as something out of a swap meet. Since 2015, GameStop has claimed ThinkGeek it resembles Hot Topic, however, centered around nerd culture stuff like anime, computer games, and hero motion pictures. An enormous lump of each store I visited was committed to this stuff. That stuff presently litters each GameStop store. In spite of the fact that these mainstream society things are digressively identified with gaming, they're both pieces of nerd culture, they do little for the store's allure. What's more, they frequently look untidy. The most concerning issue of all, however, wasn't what was in the store, it's what wasn't. Each game discharged on an Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or Nintendo Switch is accessible on their advanced customer-facing facades. In any case, few out of every odd game sold on those computerized customer-facing facades are distributed on a plate. GameStop sells games on disc. It's their essential business explicitly utilized games on disc. You can purchase gift vouchers for computerized games, however, it is extremely unlikely to purchase any of the several games sold distinctly through advanced customer-facing facades like PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, Nintendo's eShop, and Steam. There is no pre-owned market for advanced games, since they're simply codes. There is no physical plate to sell. Also, that is a colossal issue for GameStop. I unquestionably believe it's a liquefying ice 3D shape, Wedbush examiner Michael Pachter said of GameStop's plate-based plan of action. Without a doubt, it will disappear in the end. Furthermore, their future will be shortened and dispensed with the day that discs quit being made. There's some uplifting news for GameStop. The up-and-coming age of game consoles is coming in 2020, and that implies GameStop will probably keep going for at any rate an additional while. GameStop's at present during the time spent creation over its official group. It has another CEO, and it has a slight augmentation of life allowed by Microsoft and Sony. The two organizations are making new game consoles that will, in any case, run game circles, notwithstanding advanced just games. They just got a 7-more-year respite beginning in 2020, Pachter said. Gamestop has around 10 years before that ice square is completely liquefied. Meanwhile, the organization's huge system of stores will, without a doubt, shrivel. The organization has just begun downsizing on its ThinkGeek push. Things have been coordinated into existing GameStop stores, and independent ThinkGeek areas were covered. How long GameStop will last is another inquiry through and through. At the point when stores like Tower Records and Borders were in transit out, it was difficult to tell how long they had left. Such is the situation with GameStop also. All the signs are absolutely there. Questionable business choices, the presentation of irrelevant deals things, and a plan of action that is solidly secured a period that is finished. In any case, GameStop additionally gives a significant incentive to a huge number of individuals. The capacity to exchange computer games that may some way or another simply mope on a rack gathering dust. Play, trade, save, repeat. Clients exchanging their games and GameStop pivoting and exchanging those games remains the foundation of the organization's business. On the visit through GameStop stores, 2 games were brought to perceive what the organization would give: Call of Duty, World War II, and Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. The aggregate sum offered for the 2 games, regardless of whether we're discussing store credit or straight-up money, was $7 to $2 for the previous and $5 for the last mentioned. As the GameStop store partners said to me in each example where I asked, I would get more cash for the 2 games by selling them on the web. In any case, consider the possibility that you're a 15-year-old and you simply need to get the following Zelda game. That is $7 towards Zelda. It is anything but a ton, and it's positively not exactly the real estimation of the 2 games, yet it's significantly more than the $0 in esteem the 2 games give while sitting on a rack. Utilized record stores likewise used to exist. Presently they don't. That is the issue that GameStop is confronting. At the point of experiencing childhood during the 90s, it was truly basic for utilized CD stores to exist. They worked precisely like you figure. You could exchange your old CDs for cash or store credit. It is the very same plan of action utilized by GameStop but on a lot bigger scope. The consequence for utilized record stores was clear as Napster. At that point iTunes, then Spotify and others on a very basic level, adjusted the manner in which the vast majority collaborate with music. Why purchase a record when you can get assistance with each record? Why purchase a physical disc when you can get it carefully? This is a similar change at the present moment to the computer game industry, and it's this reality that GameStop is looking down. For more of the latest news and more in-depth content, leave a like on this video and subscribe to join the Gang.